A 19-year-old is running away with this title, but the most dangerous man in F1 just woke up. 45 points back with a Ferrari that's finally fast.
That's right, Lucas. At 41, Lewis Hamilton is hunting again, and that Ferrari gets faster every single weekend. Hamilton is minus 45 from Antonelli. You know this. What you don't know is what Ferrari does next, what the math actually requires, and when the window closes. This video is about the next 12 races, not the last 6 years. 12 races remain. The gap is 45 points. On paper, that's still a fight, but the numbers are ruthless. With 25 points for a Grand Prix win and 6 sprint weekends offering up to 8 extra points each, the maximum haul left is around 312 points. But Hamilton's real problem isn't the math, it's the margin for error. To catch Antonelli, he needs to outscore him by about 4 points per race. That's the true test. Not a miracle run, but a steady, relentless swing. The fantasy scenario, 2 easy wins with Antonelli scoring nothing, never happens at this level, not with Mercedes this strong. Antonelli has already won 6 of the first 10 races. He's not giving away zeros. The only realistic comeback path is a string of P1 over P2 results, repeated 4 or 5 times, plus scraping extra points from sprints or a rare off day. That's the grind. Hamilton needs to finish ahead, again and again, with no slip-ups, and hope Antonelli never stretches the gap with a big win or a sprint sweep. The car isn't the fastest on Sundays, and the new A-Duo engine upgrade only just closed part of the horsepower gap. So the next checkpoint is Hungary, a high downforce circuit where Ferrari has performed well in the past. If Hamilton can't win there, or at least take a chunk out of Antonelli's lead, the deficit risks freezing in place or getting worse. With each race, the window for a comeback narrows. The arithmetic is simple, but it's not forgiving. Mercedes enters 2026 with the benchmark power unit, fastest on the grid and the most reliable, suffering only 2 retirements all season, both from isolated technical faults. Ferrari, meanwhile, has built a chassis praised for its balance and grip, but their engine lags by about 25 horsepower. This shortfall has shaped the season's early battles, especially at Spa and Hungary, where Mercedes' superior deployment out of slow corners and on long straights kept them ahead. The introduction of the ADUO system for 2026 has shifted the dynamics. Teams trailing by more than 2% in engine performance can now pursue mid-season upgrades, a rare opportunity in recent years. Ferrari's response arrives at Zandvoort on August 31st. A revised cylinder head, a higher pressure turbo, and a new MGU-K, all designed to close the gap by as much as half a second per lap on power-sensitive circuits. Pre-brake data from Spa and Hungary showed Mercedes still leading, but Ferrari's deficit narrowed to 2 or 3 tenths by the final sessions. The summer break, once a pause, now serves as the critical development window. If Ferrari's upgrade delivers and proves reliable, Hamilton faces the last 8 races with a machine finally able to match Mercedes on pace. If not, Antonelli keeps the advantage, and the title path remains clear. Zandvoort will reveal which team's gamble pays off. Ferrari's internal politics are no longer a background story. They're a live calculation. Lewis Hamilton sits on 159 points. Charles Leclerc, his teammate, has 133. The gap between them is 26 points, and Ferrari as a team trails Mercedes by 73 in the constructors' standings. Until now, both drivers have raced each other without restriction. But as the calendar shrinks and the points deficit grows, the logic of free racing starts to collapse. The critical threshold is clear. If Hamilton pulls more than 60 points ahead of Leclerc, the numbers say Ferrari can only afford to back one driver for the title. Anything else risks losing both championships. Neither the driver's crown nor the constructors. Rob Smedley, once a key voice on Ferrari's pit wall, has said it bluntly: prioritize Hamilton. He's the only realistic challenger to Mercedes and the only path to a trophy this year. The signs of a shift won't come in a press release. They'll show up in the details. Hamilton getting the first call on pit strategy, the latest upgrades fitted to his car before Leclerc's, subtle changes in the way the team speaks on the radio. The true line in the sand is the first time Leclerc is told to move aside. When that happens, the championship isn't just about raw speed. It's about Ferrari's willingness to gamble everything on Hamilton's slim chance. Hamilton's Ferrari contract runs through the end of 2026, but the real tension sits in the fine print, a driver-controlled option for 2027. If he claws back this title, he can walk away a champion, writing his own ending at Maranello. If he stays, he'll be 43, facing a new season under heavier scrutiny, with every mistake magnified and every decision dissected. Lose to Antonelli now, and the retirement door opens without title number 8, the story ending in the shadow of a rookie's breakthrough. Ferrari's leadership is watching more than just the points. The team's junior pipeline is crowded. Behrman waits in the wings, and Antonelli, though locked at Mercedes for now, remains a future target. Press conferences hint at different priorities. When Hamilton and Vasseur talk about focusing on this year, it's a signal. When Leclerc or Behrman are framed as long-term projects, it's another. Ferrari's moves with their academy drivers and how openly they discuss succession reveal just how high the stakes have become, not just for this title, but for the shape of Ferrari's next era. Lewis Hamilton is not fighting Antonelli on equal terms. The pure pace deficit is real, and the numbers from the first 10 races leave little doubt. Mercedes has the faster car, and Antonelli is not making enough mistakes to hand over 3 points. Hamilton's best hope is not a sudden leap in performance, but a crack in the armor, rookie nerves, or the kind of technical failure that turns a championship on its head. The evidence is already there. In Barcelona, Antonelli's car shut down from a comfortable lead, handing Hamilton a rare win. At Silverstone, Antonelli started on pole, led early, then dropped to 15th after a mechanical issue. These are not routine slip-ups. They're the kind of failures that decide titles. Mercedes has suffered 2 DNFs this year, both from technical faults, and every paddock insider knows that 2 more could swing the championship. Hamilton's path is narrow. He needs Antonelli to stumble, not just once, but twice. The late season pressure is a different exam from early season speed. Every press conference, every shot of Antonelli's face, every nervous glance on the Mercedes pit wall becomes a signal. The story isn't about Hamilton hunting down the lead on merit. It's about waiting for the moment when the favorite flinches. Championships aren't won by a single moment, but by the shape of the fight across a season's most critical checkpoints. With 12 races left, the next 6 form the decisive runway. Hungary on July 26th is the first must-clear hurdle. If Hamilton can't win there, or at least cut Antonelli's lead, the gap risks hardening into something unbreakable. Then comes the summer break, where both teams pour resources into upgrades. Ferrari's development gamble will either pay off or leave Hamilton outpaced for the stretch run. Zandvoort on August 31st is where the new Ferrari power unit faces its first real test. If the deficit to Mercedes isn't gone by then, the numbers start to turn against Hamilton with every lap. Monza on September the 7th isn't just a home race for Antonelli, it's a pressure cooker. The Italian crowd, the headlines, the expectation. If Antonelli stumbles there, the psychological edge shifts. But if he wins, the margin could stretch to a breaking point. All of this funnels towards Singapore on October 4th. With only 6 races left after Marina Bay, the math gets brutal. If Hamilton is still more than 50 points behind at that stage, the championship is effectively out of reach. To keep this a live contest, he needs to be within 30 points by Singapore, close enough that a single did not finish or a swing weekend can flip the narrative. The real signal isn't any isolated result, but whether the points gap shrinks or grows at each of these checkpoints. That's the only scoreboard that matters now. Track the trajectory, not the headlines. The title will be decided by the slope of that curve, not by a single flash of brilliance. Every lap, the points gap narrows or widens by fractions that decide careers. As the season compresses, Ferrari's strategy desk becomes the true front line. The title won't be lost in the cockpit, but on the pit wall. Watch there. That's where this championship turns. Drop your prediction below.